In today's video, I am going to share with you how to stay consistent on social media even when you are very busy. And trust me, I've been there more than you know, and I have clients who also are very busy. So we have to find times and ways to make them create content so we can be consistent online. So if you feel like this is you, this video is for you. Let's get started. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Telwa. I am a digital entrepreneur coach and currently living in Mexico. I teach freedom seekers how to start and launch an online business so they can work from anywhere. Let's be honest, creating social media content on a consistent basis is very difficult. And even for myself, it happens when sometimes I just don't have the inspiration. I don't have the time. It's just difficult. And I totally get it. In this video, I am going to walk you through my strategy and what has helped me, as well as my client, create content on a consistent basis. Let's go. The first thing to think about is that what is the real source of the problem? I don't think this is time. It's just priority. For example, one of my clients is super perfectionist, so it's never perfect enough, not the perfect studio, perfect lighting, perfect mic, or you're just thinking about it too much. And really, it's better to have consistency over perfection, because what matters is when you create content that people can get to know you, like you, and trust you so they can eventually buy from you, but also they want to get to know you through the lens of the camera. Think about it. How many times you've been watching a content creator online and you know them so well, but they don't even know you exist. I'm saying this because I used to do yoga with Adrienne, and I even knew the name of her dog. And I was like, well, I know Adrienne. She never heard of me, but I've watched her every morning when I was doing my yoga. So this is incredible. And because of that, she built trust with her audience. And also it's easier when you build trust with your audience, they pretty much buy anything from you. So you want to set yourself as top of mind awareness, being the expert in your field. And for that, you have to be consistent with your content. You have to show up. So it is really hard, but the source of the problem is that it's not really the time. So instead of thinking about social media performance, about the follow counts, about the likes and all of that stuff, let's just focus on showing up for your audience, because you have a gift, you want to share it to your audience. And this is really about them. You know, you want to show up for them. They need to know what you know. You want to teach them what you know. You want to bring them into your sphere, to your world. And then when I started posting social media at the very beginning of my digital nomad journey, I wasn't sharing anything. I was like, well, nobody cares. Like, why do people care about how I plan my trips or where am I in the world? Until I realized that some of the content creator really took advantage of that. And they were sharing content that I was like, this is so dumb. This is so stupid. This is so simple. But really, you don't have to think that way, because what you know might very well be helpful for someone. So I'll tell you something. One time I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. She said, you should really talk about your planning strategy when you travel to another country by yourself. You don't speak the language. You've never been there. And I was like, what's there to know? She's like, well, if it was me, I'll just buy my flight ticket online and I'll show up at the airport. And I was like, that's it? You don't look at what kind of documents you need, if you have to have a visa, what about healthcare, what about phone line, Wi-Fi, none of that. She's like, no. And I was like, what if you can't get in? She's like, well, I go home. And I was like, wow, there's so much that you should know. And so let me teach you. So use your expertise to show up for your clients or your audience online. This is very important. So let's tackle the strategy now. So let's get into the system. The first thing that I do, and that has helped me a lot over the years, is to batch content creation. So what I mean by that is I have specific days for specific things. So for example, today's Friday. Today's my filming days. This is my third video. I'm going to see if I can do another one before it gets dark, because it is actually, what time is it? It is 6:30 p.m. and I know the sun goes down around 7 p.m. and I don't have enough lighting to film at night yet, but I'm thinking about it. So I batch content. So I use a platform like Notion, where I'm going to plan my content ahead of time. That's going to be on another day. Actually, that was yesterday for me on Thursdays and my clients' days. But when I have enough time towards the end of the day, I actually plan all my scripts. I do the research for tags and keywords for my YouTube videos, and then I write the script. So that's done another day. Today, I just show up. I already know what I'm going to talk about. And it's important for me that I do it the night before, because that way it's still fresh in my mind. A lot of the stuff that I'm sharing with you, I already know, but I still need bullet points to make sure my videos are structured. So the day before, I'm going to work on the content, and then the day after is when I'm going to film. So I do this for myself as far as batch content. And then for my clients, I also pick a day where I'm going to do all the content on one day, where I create the content. And then on the following day, this is where I'm going to go into the design. So if I do video editings or graphic designs, I'm going to do this on a different day, because I already have the calendar. I already have the copy. All I have to do is design. And as soon as I finish designing it, I schedule it. So very important, you batch it. You just don't do it whenever you feel like it. Because to be honest, there's going to be some days when you just don't want to do it. You don't feel creative. There's no creative juice flowing. You just don't feel like it. So pick a day and that's your day. And as you do that, it's going to become a mindset shift. You're going to know, okay, Friday is my day where I have to create content. So Thursday, I have to make sure I have enough plan. So I publish 2 videos a week on YouTube. And so I have to make sure I have 8 videos a month that are done. And also the reason why you want to batch create your content, it's because there's so many other variables after that. So for YouTube, for example, I have to create the thumbnails and I have to put the description, I have to schedule it. So there's so many other things that I have to do after the content is edited. And so because of that, you want to do this ahead of time so you don't scramble last minute trying to figure out, oh, what am I going to use as a thumbnail? What am I going to do? No, very important to batch block time and batch create all at once. And do this on a weekly basis. You don't have to do a full month. I know people who do full months or for 3 months or for 6 months. I can't do that. I have to do it a week at a time. And also it gives me more idea, it gives me more time to think about new stuff, what's going on in the world. So that way my content can be relatable on that. So basically this is what I just mentioned. This is strategy. It's a 3-step strategy. The first one is you're going to plan your weekly theme. So it depends on how many times you post. In my case, YouTube is my main platforms, Instagram is secondary. So first you're going to plan. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to batch. So batch content creation. So this is the day you're going to do everything. You're going to film all of that. If you are speaking on camera or if you do an other type of form of content, then that's the day you will do it. And then the step number 3 is to schedule everything. So make sure your copy is on point, your keywords, your tags, your titles, your graphs, your thumbnails, that's on number 3. So all of this is a lot of work, but this is also part of your business. So it is very important because think about it. Social media is free. Why don't you use it? You have to put the work in, but it is worth it. Next phase I want to talk about is the tools that I use. Some are free, some are paid. I think most of them are, you have a free version and then you have a paid version. And honestly, sometimes it's worth it to pay for it. For example, I use Canva. The free version of Canva is okay. You can do stuff with it, but with the paid version is so much better because I can get professional photos on the stock photos there. There's so many templates that are free, not free. They are included in the paid version, and for me, makes it so much easier. You can do so much on Canva. You can do anything from thumbnails to video editings to reels to you name it. So one of the platforms that I use is definitely Canva. Canva is super important for social media content creation. The other thing that I use is Notion. I used to have the free version, then I moved on to the paid because I have so many things that I want to create. And on Notion, what I really love is that I can create calendars for me or for my clients. I can share some of my content creation process with my editor. So I just tag her and then she can see everything that I'm doing. I can create lists, to-do lists. There's so much you can do. And honestly, you do need a platform where you can stay organized, schedule your content, have a visual to see how you are doing. So for example, I look at the month, I'm like, okay, this month we're missing 2 videos for this month. So let me jump on and film. And so very important platform for me. So Notion, Canva. The next one that I use is CapCut. So I mentioned I have an editor. She does most of the work, but I do grab on CapCut when she's done just to make sure the audio is good. I'm also sometimes adding a light filter and I also review the CC. So, I let her do the main editing and then I take it from there and I upload my final video directly on YouTube. This process works for me. I know some people just send out the video to the editors and they do everything, but for me, it works well that way. So CapCut. I also have the paid version of CapCut because honestly, the free version is limited. So I recommend to get it. Also, it's a very, very easy interface to use. So I like CapCut. And then the other platform that I use, this is mostly for my clients because I tend to schedule directly on the platform, but I use Metricool. Also the paid version because I have multiple clients that I schedule the accounts for. So on there, you can, once your content is created, you can schedule it on multiple platforms and that's amazing. So all the week content is created, scheduled. I don't have to think about it. So that's perfect. Now you have a strategy, you have the tool. The next thing to do in order not to quit is to remember why you're doing this. So what I try to remember for me is that I have value. I have value that I should share because people might need it. Whether it's in the travel or in the business department, I know some people might find my content valuable. And I think that's the reason why I keep doing this. And then not only you add value, but then you bring in on people who might become your future clients or customers. I used to, I write my newsletters. And by the way, if you feel like you want to join my newsletter, I do have a free guide, the Remote Income Roadmap. I'm going to leave the link down below. Feel free to download it. It's a great tool to get started with making money online. But I wanted to share this with you. One day I got an email from someone who said, "Thank you so much for all your content. I've been reading your emails for the last 2 years." And I was like, "What?"
What a surprise.
I have never heard of that person. And they've been reading my emails for the past 2 years. So they are watching and they are reading. So you got to remain consistent. And then I want to leave you with this. Don't be overwhelmed. I know what I mentioned right now. It might feel overwhelming, especially if you have a family, you have kids, you have so much going on. You might work a full time job and then you have a side hustle. I get it, but start small. Pick one platform, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, and master that platform before you move on to the next. As you grow and as your money grow, you then can hire a virtual assistant, you can build a team. But right now, do what you can, but do it.
Just do it.
Remember, consistency over perfection. Take it one day at a time. Give yourself permission to take breaks, and slowly you're going to see this mindset shift. Now, I've been doing YouTube for many years, and honestly, I don't really see my life without YouTube. It becomes part of my life. If I see content when I'm traveling and I think this is great, I'm going to film it. I'm going to think about, okay, how can I strategize this? What do people want to see? I'm thinking about what people might find interesting, you know? And so I think this is very important to make that mindset shift. Take one day at a time, show up consistently, and don't focus on being perfect. There's no such a thing. If you have to film in your car, do it. If you have to film when you walk in the park, do it. And as you grow, you will know what's the next things. Like for the longest, I didn't have a microphone. Now I have mics. For the longest, I didn't have lights. Now I have lights. And then slowly, I start to adjust to make sure my content is valuable for my clients. So what really matters is the value you offer. The rest you can adjust as you grow. So that's it for this video. It was pretty simple, but I do want to know, what is your strategy for showing up consistently on social media? Please leave me a comment down below. Do not forget to download my guide. I will put it in the description down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye from Mexico.